I've got great news for you. If you take prescription drugs, the big pharmacies are feeling such marketplace pressure from discounters who were offering prescriptions at much lower prices that they're starting to change how they do things. So let's talk the two bigs. CVS and Walgreens are actually shrinking. They are closing locations. They are going through a midlife crisis that I've talked about that have led to walkouts from their employees. And it's a miserable environment now for so many employees with CVS and Walgreens. The companies are kind of lost in the wilderness right now. And for consumers, they're very, very difficult companies to do business with because they've created such complex models. You go in and you have no idea. It's like you're buying lottery tickets. You have no idea when you go to fill a prescription, is it going to be $8 or $800 or a few thousand? You just don't know. It's a completely obscure process. So CVS, because it's losing so much market share to discounters, the warehouse clubs, among others like Mark Cuban's Cost Plus Drugs and others in the marketplace, they are completely revamping, rolling out through 24, a new way of pricing the drugs that if you're not familiar, what happens now is you got all these different prescription plans and the ones you have at work and all that. And it's so difficult as a consumer to know how to navigate and where to get the best price and all that. And it's hard for the people behind the counter. They don't know while they're punching in stuff on the computer what number's going to come up. So under the new system, they're taking kind of a blended page from the Costco pricing model for prescription drugs and the Mark Cuban model for pricing prescription drugs. And what they're going to do is you're going to pay their cost plus a markup plus a prescription filling fee. It's going to be much cleaner and simpler than it is right now and much more transparent. Capitalism works best when it's transparent, when you know what you're going to have to pay and you can comparison shop place to place. And so CVS is doing that to try to regain a connection to the public, make it easier for their employees behind the pharmacy counter. And the pressure those pharmacists and pharmacy techs and assistants are under at the CVS's and Walgreens, unconscionable. And that's the other side that these two chains need to fix. Do you know what's weird? I read a story last month about how as the chains are closing, independent pharmacies are opening up. It almost reminds me of what happened with the booksellers, the bookstores a generation ago when Barnes & Noble and Borders, remember Borders? Opened up all over the place and all these independent booksellers went bust and all that. And now there are independent booksellers opening again. Same thing's happening in the pharmacy business, a more personalized kind of touch. But I digress because CVS and Walgreens have been so powerful. And Walgreens is launching a digital tool that's called RX Savings Finder. And if you choose that you want to fill a script there, you'll be able to use this digital tool to see ahead of time what it's going to cost and what discounts might be available. So the marketplace is speaking, and this is great stuff. Now, you're not going to find all this. It's not an I Dream a Genie moment, if you know that reference from, was that 1960s or 70s?
70s, I
70s?
think, yeah.
Anyway, I mean, this isn't like Barbara Eden suddenly go, beep, and it all is fixed all at once. But the trend is you're my friend. And that's good news. But the systems that the warehouse clubs use is by far the best generally for your wallet. Going to Sam's, going to Costco for prescription drugs is just phenomenal.